bringing millions of Indians, Afghanis, Africans, all disparate parts of the world with wildly different cultures than what we're used to in Canada, what our value system is. Many of these countries have Sharia law. They've lived under tyranny. They are people not used to freedom. The Liberals claim that importing millions of people from wildly different areas of the world will have no major impact on Canadian society. This globalist idea that people from all over the world are the exact same if they just get the same opportunity. It's ridiculous. It's ahistoric. Many of these Western civilization is a historical one-off. These societies based on the rule of law that allow for freedom of religion, freedom of speech. These are not the historical norms. And people who have lived under tyranny for extended periods of time, oftentimes for good reason, have wildly different worldviews, sets of values. We have in Canada we've seen a lot of behavior over the past 2.5 years that we had never seen in Canada before this. Fake body bags on the ground, Canadian heroes getting desecrated, police protection for people waving terrorist flags. We have Khalistani territory duels on Canadian soil, playing out on Canadian soil, to ignore the fact that this unprecedented rate of bringing people into the country, and it is an unprecedented rate. We are bringing in 3% of our population every single year in immigration from wildly different parts of the world. Throughout all of Canadian history, it was 0.5% coming in. All of a sudden in 2015, Trudeau jacked that up to 1.3%. And then post-pandemic, they jacked it another after kicking up 160%. They upped to 3%. By far a record in Canada. And the Canadian people never voted for this. The Canadian people never asked for this. It's not democratic. And to ignore the fact, to be PC about the fact that it's radically transforming Canada. And also when these woke tyrannies, these woke tyrants that want to implement digital IDs, central digital bank currencies, carbon emissions caps, it's just a fact that people who are from third world countries often it's just statistically borne out. They're much less likely to complain about authoritarian overreach and the like, because it's what they're used to. And the likelihood, think about it, the likelihood that you are going to complain about the government when you are a relatively new arrival in the country is incredibly low. It's incredibly low, the likelihood that you're going to do that when you're a new arrival in the country versus being somebody who's been there for a long period of time. And the statistics bear that out 100%. So the Liberals know that they are both importing people who are overwhelmingly likely to vote Liberal. It's a big part of the reason they do it. Over 85% of immigrants vote Liberal. Pierre Poilievre would have won the last election if the Liberals hadn't just overwhelmed the country with immigration in the past decade. And they are less likely to stand up and say anything when the Liberal Party of Canada tries to pass things like Bill C-8, Bill C-9, these tyrannical bills that offer the government the option to cut anybody's internet service unilaterally if an MP deems it appropriate. Bill C-8 facing up to lifetime in prison. Out in BC, they just put a pastor in jail because he said something about a drag queen story time that was going on at a local library of his. A local pastor said something about it, and he has now been imprisoned. The footage is quite unbelievable. at a local library, he noticed that there were children around, and there was what they claim a drag queen story time, where these drag queens are in a public library, and he didn't think that it was appropriate. He didn't find it appropriate for a drag queen story time. I guess these men dressed as women in front of children. He didn't find it appropriate. So he said something to the librarian about it, the person working at the library. That person then went to the police. I kid you not. Nice. They went to the police. They went to the police, and the man has been arrested. He was required. They told him he would be thrown in jail if he did not apologize, and he has refused to apologize because he's speaking with religious conviction. He does not find it appropriate. And whatever your politics are, the idea of nudity and sexualization among young children, I think we can all agree, the vast majority of people, it's not unreasonable to have an opinion. It's not unreasonable whatsoever. You certainly should not be jailed for not wanting that going on in the library and complaining about it. He committed no violence. He didn't hurt anybody. He said what he believed, whether you agree with it or not. The fundamental bedrock of Canada is our ability to speak our mind. It's written into our Charter of Rights and Freedoms. As long as you're not calling directly to violence, if you're not allowed to speak your mind, you're not. It's not about punishing the speaker. It's about punishing the people who could have been listening to them. And that's why in Canada we have to fight. Good news is it looks as though Bill C-9 in all likelihood is going to get held up. Thank you to Andrew Lawton, Conservative MP, who's doing a great job. But C8 is still in the works, so-called. It's more extreme than the Online Safety Act that they have in the UK, where they are now arresting 12,000 people a year, including a story of a woman who was brutally beat by a man. She then texted another man that the man who attacked her was a gay slur, and she has been arrested. I kid you not. She has been arrested. They are arresting 12,000 people a year in the UK, and they're trying to pass the exact same laws here in Canada. The exact same laws here in Canada. So we need to make sure both, if we get Bill C-9 shut down, that Bill C-8 is shut down as well. Because if they can take our freedom of speech, we're not going to be able to stop them. Please like, share, subscribe, join, become a member, donate, grab some gear. Appreciate it.